I put a bad bitch up in her place. If she thinks she the shit, then I'm bursting her bubble. I am a dog off the leash. If I see a bone I want, I go and get it. Fuck a muzzle.
Hey yo, what's poppin'? It's the sexiest rapper that she knows, Kwaejo, and welcome back to another episode of Cheat Code, where I provide y'all with the cheat codes. Man, make sure y'all follow me on all my social media platforms. That's at Kwaejo, at Body by Quay, and at Cheat Code Game, okay? Without no long talking, we're gonna get straight into today's episode. Today we're talking under the pillar of reverse engineering, okay? And today we're talking about reasons why you're not why you're not staying fully erect during intercourse, okay? This is an issue that all men are going to experience at least once in their life, if not multiple times or more, and there's no reason to panic, right? Because when it comes to reverse engineering, what you have to find out, I've talked about this in the past, is you have to first identify the problem, okay? In any situation, any problem, the first way to go about it is to identify it. And then we got to think back on how we can solve this issue, right? Identify, analyze, right? Strategize, come up with a plan, implement, and then take action, okay? So I want to talk today about why you're not fully staying erect during intercourse, okay? Again, like I said earlier, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've experienced this. Multiple men have experienced this. I've talked to guys. We've had conversations about this occurring, and it is pretty embarrassing. Like, it is embarrassing while it's in the moment. There's no doubt about it. But once, I can't speak for every man, but I mean, if it were to happen with me, I would not be embarrassed, because it's just, it's science. There's a reason, and it's better to tackle the reasons and figure out why that's happening than to not know the reasons and be there being embarrassed, okay? So let's talk about a couple things on why that might be happening for you in your situation. Number one, okay, weight and your health and wellness, okay? Your health and wellness. Is it intact? Okay, are you taking care of your fitness, right? Is your muscles functioning as they could, right? Is everything in your nerve system flowing? Is the blood getting to every nerve and every muscle as it should? Because right there's the issue, okay? If you are overweight, it's going to impact your performance, right? The blood might not, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not even going to get into technical terms. So forgive me if there's any doctors out there watching this that's like, this is the correct term. I'm not it, right? I'm just talking about from logical a perspective and doing research and experience, okay? So this is a collaboration of research and experience. So if you're overweight, that is going to affect your performance, right? I encourage all men who watch my content, who follow me, who engage with me, stay actively fit as a man. There is too many benefits, and there is too many contributing factors to everything in your life actually going to the gym. So there's just too many reasons why you should not. There's too many reasons why you should not be working out, okay? You have to be working out. You have to stay actively fit. Your woman is gonna love you 10 times more in bed, how you look, your confidence, your attractiveness, the fact that other women are looking at you. There's too many benefits to working out. So let's get back into it. If you're not working out and you're not staying actively fit and you have a lot of weight on you, that will affect your performance, okay? And you might know it as erectile dysfunction. That's what it's called. That's the correct technical term for it. Erectile dysfunction, that's when your dick won't stay hard for the duration that you want to have intercourse with, right? It might start off hard, it might get limp. There's multiple reasons, but number one, make sure your health and wellness is intact. Make sure you're physically active. Make sure you do not have excess weight on you, and that will limit the possibility of that being a factor during intercourse, okay? So that's number one. Number two, your mental, right? Your mental has to be clear. If you're having an issue, there's multiple reasons why your mental will not be clear, right? So this has subcategories as opposed to the one that we just listed. So if you're dealing with your woman and you guys are not on proper terms, or there's some tension between you guys, then yeah, like, you're not gonna get hard, because you know, you might physically want it, or she might want to give it to you, and your dick might get hard for a couple minutes or so on, but in your mental, like, you're not there. You might still be upset with her. You might be thinking about an argument that you guys had earlier. You might not like something that she did, right? That's one reason, right? There might be something about her that you don't like, that's not sitting right with you. If you're thinking it in your head, it will affect your performance, right? It will give you erectile dysfunction. You need to be on one accord when it comes to that stuff, okay? When it comes to intercourse, you need to have a clear mind. You need to want to engage sexually with her. You have to want to blow her back out. If you are not there mentally, it will affect your performance. You will go soft, okay? And then she's gonna be looking at you like, what's going on? Like, she might think that she's not attractive to you, or she might think that, you know, you're inadequate in performing, right? And then it's gonna add more tension. You're gonna have more stress. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions, trying to figure out what's going on. But I'm telling you right now, get your mental right. Your mental has to be right, because what you think, you know, your body follows. If you tell your body this is what it is, it will follow in that manner. If you believe that for a long enough time, your mind is very powerful. Okay, so if your mental is not clear, if you're not on one accord with the woman you're having interaction with, it will affect you while you're doing it, and it's going to be a problem, like I said. Another reason, okay, don't watch too much porn, okay? Don't, I mean, you know, I want to do a video on if porn is bad or not. I don't believe porn is bad, but for educational reasons, okay, you should not be engaging in porn consistently, because number one, porn is fiction. It's not real. It's not reality. Okay, and then your subconscious mind is going to be taking that in and digesting that, thinking that this is reality. It's going to be wanting to expect that in real life. And when it doesn't get that, you know, it's not going to coincide with what you're seeing and what you're viewing and your perspective on what you're watching, right? That's not real, right? Porn should be for educational purposes. Teach you how to, just teach you sexual ed. Really, like, porn is going to teach you what they're not going to teach you in class. Not about the human function body like they'll teach you in school, but how to engage in sexual intercourse. So do not be engaging in that in great dosages, because it's just not good for your mental over time. And there's a lot of research. I've seen a couple of research studies on the negative effects of porn, right? Like I said, no one's going to come to you and teach you how to have sex. Like, if you want to be a good sexual performer to your partner, and you want to know how to please her, or you want to know things that you just don't have the knowledge of, that we don't get taught, then okay, I understand. You can engage in watching porn as educational, for educational reason, but for entertainment purposes, for satisfaction purposes, that's not what you want to do. It's going to affect you in the long run, I promise you. There's too much research. It's not something that I'm not talking from experience on this one, but this is a logical reasoning. I've seen a lot of research on the negative effects of porn, and there's multiple research for a reason, and they all kind of lead to the same outcome. So I don't think, you know, you're going to be the special case. If you are, then cool. But then again, that leads to a deeper question. If you are watching multiple porn and if you have a partner, why is that a thing, right? That obviously tells me that there's an issue between you and your partner that needs to get addressed and it needs to get fixed. So, you know, it might be uncomfortable. It might be a lot of work. Spend the time doing that, right? So that you guys can have that real, you know, that real thing. And you're not going to a fictional world to get that type of satisfaction, okay? So, boom. Another reason could be that, yo, you're just not attracted to her anymore. And I hate to say it, but like, it is a reason. It could be a reason. She just doesn't do it for you anymore. I did see something on the web where a woman was talking about how her dude doesn't get erect for her anymore, and it's quite embarrassing. And she was sharing her narrative, and he was just like, "Yo, like I just don't feel the same way about you." And it happens, right? It happens. I don't think, and this is how you know. This is how you know the factors of what I'm presenting here are the case in most situations, as opposed to it just happens, right? Because if you take any man and you introduce a new woman to him that is very attractive, very lustful, voluptuous for some type of man, but has that sex factor, his dick will get hard, okay? His dick will get hard. If he's fully active, healthy, not suffering from porn addiction. If he's a healthy guy, his dick will get hard. So a lot of times, if you're having erectile dysfunction and you don't know what it is, I'm gonna get to it later. The last resort would be to see a physician, to go see your doctor and see what the fuck is going on, because it might be a deeper problem that we can't even, really identify in a conversation like this. But that's the last. That's the last thing that I would do. I would run through these factors first. Wait, making sure your mental is clear, making sure you're not being a subject of porn addiction, and then number 4 is the woman that you're having intercourse with. Like, where are you at with how you view her? Are you still attracted to her? Does she still do things that turn you on, that excite you? Because a lot of relationships get boring, right? And if there's too much friction and you guys are arguing too much, you don't find her the same way that you did when you met her, then how do you think you're going to get erect and stay erect when you're going to have intercourse? It's different for women. I've heard women say that they can not get turned on when they're not attracted to a man, which is true. And I do believe that, but also there's multiple times where, I've heard women engaging in intercourse, but them not really being all the way there, and I'm not saying rape. We're not talking about that type of shit. We don't do that. We don't know nothing about that on this page. I'm talking about, like, your girl might have intercourse with you, or a female might have intercourse with you, but you're ugly and she lets you, or, your woman let you, but she was still mad at you about something that you did earlier, and she might let you know after that, but y'all still have sex, okay? Whereas a guy, it's different, she might not get as wet, and you'll notice that. Like, if you're in tune, like, you'll notice that. But with a guy, it's different because, we think about the smallest, slightest thing, and then that could just make it go from, hard as a rock to whoo, boom, and then crash, right? So you have to make sure you know where you're at with your woman, making sure everything is good with you guys. And if it's not, then you need to take a step of action. Either do the work to figure it out and solve it, or it's like, this is not working out. I don't find you as attractive as I did. Maybe y'all might have to part ways, right? But those are a lot of contributing factors to why men have erectile dysfunction. Again, I said, it's not nothing to be super embarrassed about. Of course, everybody gets embarrassed when it does happen. If it does happen to you for the first time, it is going to be embarrassing, but it's nothing to stay embarrassed about, because it happens. It happens to all of us. But instead of sitting there getting embarrassed or trying to figure out why this is happening, do this problem solving for reverse engineering, and figure out which one of those 4 factors that I introduced to you is causing that erectile dysfunction. Okay, it's definitely one of that. Some things that I could recommend for you guys to keep an erect penis while you're having intercourse is sea moss. Sea moss is very effective, and moringa. Okay, those are 2 things, and they're natural. Natural sea moss, right? 2 things that will contribute to your erectile dysfunction and can help you. If you're having a problem in that area, these are 2 things that I recommend. I have used both of them. I have felt more erect using these natural substances, and I recommend them to you. So again, that's moringa and that sea moss. And then again, you want to make sure you run through these 4 factors and figure out if you're clear on the board on all of those 4 factors. If you are, the 5th factor would be to go see your physician or your doctor and see what the fuck going on, because something going on, right? And you don't need to be staying in that friggin' it's stressful. Like, your penis not being able to get hard when you want to have intercourse. So guys, figure that out. See what it is. Don't get embarrassed, right? If it happens for the first time, you will be embarrassed. I know, the whole shebang, whatever. But run through these 4 factors, see what it is, reverse engineer, okay? There's always a problem. We got to identify the problem. We got to analyze. We got to put a plan into action. We got to implement that plan, and then we got to take action. All right, so that's the reverse engineering. that's the conversation for today. I hope this video provided you with some value. Okay, if you did get some value out of this video, I want you guys to hit the subscribe. I want you guys to hit that like, and I want you to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your experience that you've had with this topic. Let me know if you ever had erectile dysfunction and what it was like for you, and so we can all be a community in these comments and give our input and share our experiences. All right, so I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode. You already know what it is. It's your boy Quay, aka the sexiest rapper that she knows, Kwaejo. Alright? Get him.
I put a bad bitch up in her place. If she thinks she the shit, then I'm bursting her bubble.